Hello friends, if we haven't met, I'm Lee Brown and you have landed at My Kitchen, My Rules. And if you're wondering why today I'm wearing an apron, it's because friends, today we're going to make a southern staple, fried okra. And if you're going to fry things, you really ought to wear an apron. I do know that, but it's also why you don't wear your best t-shirt. You wear one that could get some spatters on it, and you don't wear your good pants. You wear your cheap pajama pants that your girlfriend Kim got you from the TJ Maxx for $4. So this is the reason summertime exists. Fresh vegetables, fresh produce, not stuff from the grocery store. That mess comes out of a hothouse. We're talking from the farmer's market. Now, if you're wondering why I did not grow okra, I ran out of space in my garden. That's why I go to the farmer's market. So today we're going to use a purple okra and also a green one. Let me give you a couple of tips on okra. If you see a gigantic pod like this, which got snuck into my purchase, this is overgrown and probably going to be a little bit on the tough side. This is the right size. So get one that's a couple of inches long. That's going to be much more delicious and tender. So the first thing you want to do is rinse it real good, or rinse it, as you know, some people will say. I just got it in a bucket, or not a bucket, a sink full of water. Slice off the end. Slice off you can eat this end if you want to. I don't. I think it's pointless. And just slice it to about yay big. I reckon that's about the width of my thumb. How about that? And then don't cut your thumb off, of course. But if you make it too thin, it won't hold any breading. And if you make it too thick, it won't cook right. Yes, okra feels a little bit slimy, but drop your pieces right back in the water and let them sit here while you cut okra. So you're going to spend it, so you can tell this big old pod here. You hear that? Kind of fibrous sounding. Okra does have fiber in it, and that's good for all of us. So we're just going to cut okra here, fill up the sink. See, look, this, I'm about to give up on this long one. Look, it won't even cut right. So we're just going to be done with that one right there and cut one of the correctly aged ones. I do love the people at the farmer's market, but they just snuck that one in on me. All right, so we're going to cut okra. I'm not going to make y'all watch all of that because you have things to do. But in the meantime, here's the other ingredients that you need. You need salt, table salt or kosher salt. I'm a kosher salt girl, as y'all know. You need some oil because you're going to be frying this in your cast iron skillet. And you need some all-purpose flour. What kind? Yeah, white lily. So you need some white lily flour. Oh, and for the oil, it can be vegetable oil, canola oil, sunflower, whatever kind you want, peanut. Make sure there's no allergies in your house, of course. And then you need some cornmeal mix. Now, full disclosure, I normally just use white lily, but today I have the last little bit of my white lily, and then all they had at the grocery store was Martha White. So now all I can hear is that Rhonda Vincent song in my head, because y'all know that she sang the little ditty for Martha White. Anyway, so we're going to have a mix of cornmeal mixes here. That's all you need. Now, if I had planned appropriately, I'd have a brown paper sack to shake it up in. We're going to use a Ziploc bag. You can use either one. In fact, I reckon you could use that Sephora bag if you have an addiction to Sephora. So what we'll do now is do the magic of video. When you come back, all the okra will be cut up and I'll show you how to make your mix, and then we'll get her going. Here's what you need. First of all, I should tell you get your cast iron started. So let me move my camera over there so you can see what to do. So the amount of oil that you need in your cast iron pan is enough. And maybe that's like a ½ inch. You don't really need to have it super duper deep, but you want to have it deep enough to where your okra can fry, frankly, the whole bits. So that's going to be however much oil it is. And we're going to cut it on a medium heat. The way that you'll know your oil is hot, friends, that is one of the things you have to learn so you know when to throw your okra in. Because if you put your okra in before the oil's hot, it's going to take forever, soak up too much oil, be really greasy and pretty much just nasty. And so you can kind of see it shimmer. You can hold your hand over the top, but get yourself like one droplet of water and kind of flick it in there. And if it goes, then your oil's hot. If you flick in that bit of water and nothing happens, you need to go on and be patient. Okay, so while our oil's heating up, let's get our mixture together. So get your brown paper sack if you have one, Sephora bag if that's what you're relying on, or a Ziploc bag. And you need a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, white lily, just a 1/2 cup. You don't have to sift it or do anything fancy to get you about 1/2 cup. And this is the amount of stuff you need for like a pound of okra. So obviously the more okra you have, the more mix you'll need. I know this is not rocket science. You need about a tablespoon of kosher salt. Go ahead and put that in there. If you like more salt, now's the time to do it. And so if you're that person who gets your Chick-fil-A waffle fries and you're basically licking the bottom of the container because you like the ones with the salt in them, okay, so you should put more salt in. And if you are that weird person who asks for your fries with no salt on them, then I just have to question how you're living. I mean, it's just no way to live, friends. So for that 1/2 cup of flour, you need about 3/4 of a cup of cornmeal. Now, you can use the yellow cornmeal if you want. You can use the white cornmeal. There is truly like zero rule here. And that is one of the beauties of making little fried vegetables. That is not enough for nothing. So let's just dump the rest of the bag in there. So this will officially be a white lily mixture. And I'm actually gonna put a little bit of pepper in mine because I like a little bit of pepper in it. If you like to have a little bit of something something in yours, put it in. And now if you want to know the secret ingredient in my house, you already guessed that it was either going to be adobo or Texas peat dust. Seriously, y'all, this does some special things to your fried okra. So just a couple of shakes because my mother will have a little bit with me and she can't take the spice. All right, so before we throw our okra in, go ahead and mix that up pretty good. All right, see, that's your mix. Okay. Now, put your hands in the sink. This is not a clean task. It's gonna be a little bit slimy. You just gonna have to be brave and bold, friends, because this is worth it. I'm shaking it pretty good to get some of the slime off, and it's still dripping off. That's so nasty looking. And then get the water off, and get you a couple of handfuls to toss in here. The more you can get in there, the better off you'll be, because after your mixture gets wet with the slime and the water, it's gonna be a little tricky to deal with, but that's all right. Because since you really just have flour and cornmeal, salt, pepper, and Texas peat, it's easy enough to make up another bag full. All right, now we get to do our favorite part. I wish I had a theme song. We say shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your okra. Shake your okra. Oh, shake, shake, shake. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Oh, I still got some extra room in there. So that's what it's gonna look like before it goes in the pan. Take it real good though, for real, so that you get your okra nice and covered. I think I need to make like a little Instagram out of my shake, shake, shake your okra. So I better do that again for my production team, because they will just, I know they're gonna get tickled cutting this one up. All right. Y'all, this is like seriously the best vegetable ever, besides collard greens. Give me collard greens and fried okra, and I am just the happiest girl to ever live. I do love steak, I love bacon, I love barbecue, I love meats. But daggone, when you're Southern, there's something about your vegetables. Okay, they look a little bit slimy and gross, means they're ready to roll. So let me get a little bit of water on my fingers here. Now I guess it depends on if y'all have your listening ears on or not, if you can really hear this, but if you'd look closely, you could see that the oil is shimmering a little bit. It is not quite making it sound, but it is starting to bubble around a little bit, so we're getting close to some good hot oil. Now you're gonna make a mess in your kitchen, so just be prepared to get yourself a container of warm water, put a little white vinegar in it and a little touch of lemon essential oil if you like the smell. That will cut the grease real quick and help you clean up afterwards. There we go. Now we about there. Can feel it on my hand. Oh, this is the hardest part, y'all. I am not good at being patient. I mean, that is just not the gift that the Lord gave me. So we just gonna wait for a second, let it get ready, ready, ready. And then, one of the nice things is because my okra, there it went. Did you see that? Borp. Dunk, dunk. All right, making noise, it's dancing. All right. How long we gonna cook this? It's about to get wild up in here, okay? About 3 minutes on each side. But after you get a layer in here, take your little wooden spoon. Where's my wooden spoon at? Let me make sure I'm ready. And then we're going to kind of flip it over. You can tell when it's ready, and then the amount of brown that you go for is the amount of brown that you go for. All right, I was going to dump it in, but it's turned into glue, and that happens sometimes. So let's just put it in. Listen to that. You hear it? Magic, just magic happening right there, friends. If you're thinking that looks sketchy because it turned into glue, don't be afraid. That is going to cook. And we're just going to kind of break it up as it goes in. Now, if you're thinking this doesn't look like the stuff out of the freezer case at the grocery store because it's got that uniform coating on it, that is correct. That stuff is poison and nasty, and so you should fix things at home. This will actually look like your favorite meat and three restaurant. And I tell you, my son and I do love some fried okra, and we will judge a restaurant by the quality of their fried okra. And the amount of uniformity that you get is frankly directly related to the flavor you fixing to get. If it's uniform, it ain't gonna be good, y'all. Just gonna tell you. But I'll still take the not perfect okra over no okra at all. We just a sizzling and a popping right here. Let me get me a wet paper towel. Go behind myself. If you are new to the channel, make sure you're hitting subscribe and like and leave me a kind word or something in the comments. If you're not new to the channel, I know you're giggling right now because you know I have to clean as I go because I can't stand it. And also, if you're new to the channel, you will see that an air fryer has appeared in my kitchen. That's what happened when my son and my husband were at home while my daughter and I were out of town. They went and bought an air fryer. I don't know how to use it. I am unfamiliar with the thing, and I know y'all are big fans of it. So I imagine you want to stay tuned because at some point I might figure out how to use it. And then we'll have a new recipe created out of one of my old ones or something. So now we're getting a light brown. That's not dark enough, y'all. It's got to have some good crust to it. So we're going to let it sit over here and pop for a minute. Now while it's popping, get your plate ready. This is a very important step to having servable fried vegetables. All right, so I have a plate. You're thinking, Haley, that's very exciting. No. What you're going to need is about 3 paper towels. And for you eco-friendly people, stop. Just relax and get into the flow here for a minute. We're going to make a stack of paper towels to sit here. And then when I pull this out, that can absorb a lot of the excess oil. So I won't be just eating straight up disaster. It'll taste so good. Here we go, it's coming along nicely. You want to make sure and flip it, otherwise you'll have one side nicely browned and the other side sitting over here wishing it were. And you can see some of the okra stays coated, some of it doesn't. That's just going to happen when you're doing the homegrown version of this. I frankly just fish it all out and eat all of it because that's how we roll. We eat it all. Now if you want yours to be a little bit less gooey and gushy, you can shake up smaller batches and it will stay a little more separated. But in my kitchen, my rules, we do it the fastest, easiest way possible, which is what you're observing right now. Okay, so remember, you just take your okra out based on your personal preference. This is about the color we like in this household. It's about, let me show it to you. That's nice little light brown crisp. And remember, put it on your paper towel so the grease can drain off before you enjoy your fresh summer vegetables, Southern style, fried up and yummy. Now after you fix it at your house, you leave me a comment and tell me how much you enjoyed it. Make sure you go to your local farmer's market. Always buy local so you know where it came from. And subscribe for more. I'll see you next time here on My Kitchen, My Rules.